you are speaking on things that you don't actually know, that you haven't lived through, you know? Hello, my darlings. Today we have Avenged Sevenfold. This is a song called Danger Line, and there is a lot to talk about in this one. So let's just jump right into it. But before we do, just a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe. And with all that said, let's freaking go. Okay. One thing I just want to start off with, just real quick, is it feels like right off the top there, especially like with the percussion, it feels like kind of like a military marching kind of sound. And then freaking sick guitar right off the top. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm like, it jumped into things and kind of just like rose that intensity pretty quick with, you know, the percussion, which kind of, I don't know, it puts you in a certain kind of like mindset, I guess, or not mindset, but like mentally it kind of takes you somewhere. And then obviously, and then the guitar added on top of that is pretty sick. But let's continue.
My 16 locked and loaded, all fear has been avoided. You say the words and my weapon is drawn. This one could be my last time. Some people call it war crime. I may be staring down a lethal side. Nothing shocks you like a ball at all. Leaving my fear on the danger line. Suffering a man should never know. Leaving my faith on the danger line. I do this.
Okay, another thing. The like backing vocals, especially for that second verse there, this one should be my last time. Some people call it war crime. Has like a backing kind of vocals of like they're super breathy. And then you have like M Shadow's kind of, you know, regular vocals. So it's just like this unsettling kind of like, you know, I mean, if you look at the picture of the album, I mean, it kind of has that ghostly kind of feeling of like someone's whispering in your ear kind of energy, and it's just like unsettling. He says, my 16 locked and loaded, all fear has been avoided. You say the words and my weapon is drawn. Sorry, I just got something in my chest for some reason. This could be my last time. Some people call it war crime. I may be staring down a lethal sight to die. Nothing shocks you like a bullet hole. Fair. It's a fair statement. I'm pretty sure, yeah, nothing shocks you like a bullet hole. Leaving my fear on the danger line, suffering no man should ever know, leaving my faith on the danger line. I think it's clearly, you know, talking about war. I mean, this could be my last time. Some people call it war crime. I don't know what's about to happen because it kind of feels like he's talking about, you know, like a bit about his present, but also a little bit kind of like about his his past in a sense, or not his past, but like when he say some people call it war crime, it kind of feels like it's alluding to something that might happen or yeah, might happen in the future. Like almost like maybe he's contemplating something. But then when you listen to nothing shocks you like a bullet hole, leaving my fear on the danger line, suffering no man should ever know, leaving my faith on the danger line. When it says danger line, it makes me think of front line. And so, leaving my faith, leaving my fear, kind of like that feeling of you have to leave everything behind when you reach that, you know, quote unquote front line, because it's like you got to be focused and you got to be I don't know, like it's kind of like you got to compartmentalize, you know, and leave stuff to the side when you're doing something like fighting in a war. I personally have never fought in a war. I've never been in the military or anything like that, so like I can't speak for that experience. I can only imagine. And when it says suffering no man should ever know, I think that's also a fact, you know, like war is so messed up. And just, yeah, it's messed up. But we're going to continue this. I just wanted to talk about those backing vocals. I wanted to talk about the lyrics a little bit. And then also it's interesting because it has like these small, or not small, but like short kind of guitar breakdowns. And right before it starts the next verse, I hear that guitar just in one ear, and then it goes full sound again, which I'm like, interesting. But and it's always my left. Anyways, let's continue. Like that part.
I do this for my family. My daughter loves her daddy. Too many talk down on things they don't know. With colors never faded, reckless and unabated. They may take me, but never take us all. Nothing shocks you like a ball at all. Leaving my fear on the danger line. Suffering a man should never know. Leaving my faith on the danger line. I know what you're thinking, I've been there before. So think of the times, that time we spent laughing away. So think of the times at home. Now I find myself in my own blood. The damage done is far beyond repair. I never put my faith in up above, but now I'm hoping someone's there. Never meant to leave this world alone. I never meant to hurt the ones who cared. And all this time I thought we'd just grow old. You know, no one said it's fair. Tell my baby girl that it's alright. I've sung my last song today. Remind the Lord to leave His light on for me. I'm free.
Okay, there's quite a bit to talk about. um, so let's talk about it. um, so let's go back to the lyrics here first. I do this for my family. My daughter loves her daddy. Too many talk down on things that they don't know. Um, a lot of times when people go to war, they leave people behind. Um, so that is hard for both parties. And when they say too many talk down on things that they don't know, it's kind of like that is there's that is true. For a lot of things, not just for this situation, but for a lot of things. And I think, you know, we all need to have sympathy and be more open-minded, and not everything is black and white. And you know, it's kind of like a reminder of it's like that saying, you know, like treat everybody with kindness because you don't know, you know, how their day has been or what they're going through, you know. And it's very true. It's like it's very easy to kind of put yourself as in the center of your universe, because I mean, you you are the center of your universe in a sense, but it's like don't do it with it, like always lead with compassion, always lead with questions, you know. And what I mean by that is like don't just assume things. So I think that's really true, and I think that's really like that's a important thing to put out there, because it's not necessarily like bashing anybody, but it's kind of being like too many people do this, and you know, we need to have more compassion, because it's like you are speaking on things that you don't actually know, that you haven't lived through, you know. um but going forward, I love how, you know, for the majority of the song there is this intense kind of chaotic, like it's intense, especially with the percussion. Then you have like a bit of chaos in between each verse with the guitar, like, but obviously it's like the guitar, it sounds good. But I think it's trying to create that almost kind of like chaotic kind of sound. Because then when you get to um I know what I don't know if it started with I know what you're thinking. I think it is, but it slows right down. And you know, this nothing shocks you like a bullet hole, leaving my fear on the danger line, suffering a man should never know, leaving my faith on the danger line. Um I now realize that it's like this is his reflection of his life, like he is going to die. Um And I know what you're thinking. I've been there before. So think of the times we spent laughing away. So think of the times at home, life without a care. Um, you know, remembering uh the good parts of your life. And then he goes on to say, now I find myself in my own blood. Never thought I'd lie in my own blood, I think. And I mean, with that, I never think that we do, you know, it's kind of like we have that mentality of like, oh, it'll never happen to me, you know, until it does. And it's a shocker. The damage done is far beyond repair. I never put my faith in up above, never had much faith in up above. There's like the backing vocals kind of thing. But now I'm hoping someone's there. I think that is also really relatable. I mean, I have a bit of a background with Christianity, but I don't practice it to this day, just for my own personal reasons. But I mean, I respect all the religions. You know, like what you choose to believe in is completely it's your business, and I respect that. So when I look at this, like I never put my faith in up above. It's kind of like I've remembered times where, you know, like again, I never really put my faith in up above, but there you get into these really hard times and you kind of have that thought of like, you know what, like I kind of hope something is there. A greater being is there, you know, that you know, so then it doesn't feel so alone, and it doesn't feel like this is the end, and it doesn't feel like, you know, there's comfort in that. So I thought that was really, really relatable. And then that last section, you know, I never meant to leave this world alone. I never meant to hurt the ones who care. And all this time I thought we'd grow old. And you know, no one said it's fair. Um, I mean, life is not fair. No one said it's fair. And again, all of this is really relatable, you know. Um, and I think we all hope that we get to grow old with the people we love. And you know, sometimes I there's a quote that I really like, is that growing old is a privilege denied to many. Um, Funnily enough, I saw that on the underside. I think it's one of those Sobe drinks with the little lizard on it. I saw that like years ago on the underside of the cap of one of those, and it has stuck with me ever since. And really gives me an appreciation for growing old. I feel like that there's a whole other part of like, you know, this stigma of aging and all that stuff, but like it really gives me an appreciation for growing old. And then it goes on to say, tell my baby girl that it's all right. I've sung my last song today. Remind the Lord to leave his light on for me. I'm free. So it's kind of like I wish I could have grown old, but now I get this is ending, you know, the suffering that I've been going through being on the front. So it's almost like this kind of like I can't help what is happening, so I'm just going to embrace it kind of mentality. Um so then at least I can go peacefully. Um and then at the end of the song there was that obviously you heard a lot of the kind of like the procession procession that you hear for funerals of um, people in the army and the military, etc. Or at least that's what it sounded like. And then at the very end there was like whistling, and I'm like, it just feels very like it just feels like in my mind I just saw, you know, like there was a street and people and that person, whoever this person is just walking down that street whistling and being like, you know, like this is it. I'm walking to heaven kind of thing. Like it's like I've had my final goodbye kind of. It just created like an imagery in my mind. Um all in all, the song was sad, beautiful. I think it also had a lot of good things said in it, and really makes you kind of reflect. So thank you guys so much for recommending this song. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to this. If you did, as per usual, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you cutie patooties in the next one. Bye, y'all.